Hello, criminal justice enthusiast, and welcome back to You Are the Judge. In the last episode, we went ahead and took care of a case of an employee for the government who had betrayed us. Now we're working on a illegal organization case. Now, I was asked in one of my Judge Sim videos if I might, since there's no law book that says what the prison term should be for the offenders, just start putting what I think the prison term should be and then afterwards looking it up. Unfortunately, with Judge Sim, I had already recorded all of the episodes of that. Pretty much, I played through the update within about a day of the time that it came out. But I did say I would start doing that here with You Are the Judge. So we're going to start that here in this video and we'll continue it through the rest of the videos. If somebody's convicted of a crime and they're going to be sentenced either to a financial penalty or a prison term, I will say what I would give them before we look up what would be the right sentence for them. So we'll start playing that little game and see how I do. Maybe I'll be good at it, maybe I'll be bad, who knows. Let's jump into the day's case though. Sophia Nill versus Brat Friend. Alright. I've only had the one penalty, so that's good. We're doing well with the Prime Minister and his cabinet, doing well with the Supreme Court, doing well with the beloved or the public, and my spouse is doing okay with me. I was doing better with her before the card game the last week there, where the silly thing said that, I had an issue with her because of the card game. Alright, I prepared the documents for your upcoming case and left it on a table in courtroom. Alright, they're waiting for pre-trial. Hello, sir. The case related to the intelligence agency received extensive coverage in the press. Politicians, the Ministry of Justice, and government can be said to have quietly monitored the case. I must sadly mention that this silence is concerning, and it appears that your decision is not well received by certain powerful entities. Please remain calm, sir. As in cases like these, there will always be some displeased. That's all I have to convey to you. Alright, well, I got the case right, so I'm not too worried about it overall. Well, let's see. Nothing there, really. That's very nice of them to say. My wife hopefully feels the same way and is not upset with me at this point. I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about that. Can someone help me? I'm not gonna comment on it, but hopefully somebody can. Yeah, well, especially now that I'm sort of selecting my own punishments, they might get harsher. I agree with this. As a judge, I certainly have political views, but it is not appropriately to openly share them. Now, I mean, since this is a YouTube channel, I will share them as far as when it comes to the court cases and stuff, to a point. I'm not going to talk about the upcoming election or anything like that. Now, when I'm making this video, it's actually, I believe, 2 days before the election. So by the point you're watching this video, you'll know the results already, especially if you're in the United States. I'm not going to comment on the election because, quite frankly, it's not something I want to get into. Not my interest and not something I want for the channel. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's case. Yeah, we'll go to the pre-trial hearing. To your spouse's family arrived, you notice that your spouse has been happier lately. This is also reflected in your home life. Hey, we're up to 100% on family loyalty. Perfect. Very happy about that. Always want to make my spouse happy. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk to the plaintiff's attorney first. I would say this is a prosecutor. Find out what we're doing here today. My client and concerned citizens gathered around her have stated that the defendant has formed a secret organization and subjected young individuals to inhumane rituals by brainwashing them. Alrighty. The fact that young children were specifically chosen for these rituals is the most compelling evidence of how grave the situation is. Alright, well, that's sort of interesting. What type of rituals are we talking about here? My client aimed to contribute to the education of young people voluntarily through the civil society organization he established. Alright, nothing wrong with that. As claimed by the plaintiff, no such rituals have taken place. The organization provided educational support to underprivileged young individuals with the goal of their development. There is no basis for the claim that there is a separate and secret structure within this civil society organization. All right. And I didn't hear P. Diddy mentioned anywhere, so I think we're okay so far. Let's see here. We've got the plaintiff's attorney and the client have no objections. Defense, though, lawyer's interpretation. Your Honor, the relationship between the summoned witnesses and my client is known. They will express with their responses that this case is absurd. The opposing party is wasting your valuable time by initiating a baseless legal process. All right, well, we will see. I am a judge for a reason. This case was evidently important enough for me to hear, so let's go ahead and hear it. And I hate this thing. Fine, let's go with card number 3. Your relationship with the Supreme Court will decrease by 5 points. Why? I didn't do anything wrong. I hate the card game. That's the part I hate the most. Alright, let's look at this again, so that way that's taken care of. We'll look at here. We've got the plaintiff is respectful, tense, and neat. We've got the defendant is respectful, anxious, and neat, so they're fine that way. No notes so far. Let's go ahead to the case file. Alright. It's been reported that the organization known as OMU, which is popularly referred to by the public, has caused concern among various segments of the population. A portion of the public gathered around Sophia Nil has filed a complaint against Brat Friend, who is believed to be the founder of this organization. They have alleged that Brat Friend formed a secret organization and conducted inhumane rituals within the organization, causing harm to young people. All right. Includes the organization and establishment permit issued by the municipality. As a result of the decision coded MUS 98 taken during the 12th session of the Municipal Council, it's been decided to accept the municipality's application and grant permission for the establishment of the civil society organization named OMU. All right, well, that's fine. There's got to be some evidence that says that this was an illegal organization. Cause involving allegations of inhumane actions and activities are subject to procedures in accordance with international law. The court meticulously examines the seriousness of the offense and the violations of human rights. Those found guilty may face severe penalties for inhumane actions. That's great. I haven't seen anything that would say that we have. So let's go ahead and hear from the people here. Let's hear from the plaintiff to begin with. Can you prove that Brat Friend established the OMU Society for the intended purpose you mentioned? So she's a teacher. When the necessary documents are examined, OMU has all the required permits in accordance with its founding purpose. But I believe they did not serve this purpose, as the witness's statements suggest. According to the allegations, Brat Friend conducts inhumane rituals to harm young people. How will you confirm this allegation? Brat Friend has a history of records involving torture. Therefore, it is quite normal for such an organization to hide behind this. Does he have a history of torture? I didn't see that before in anything. Yeah, it doesn't say it there by any means. Brat Friend denies the alleged secret organization structure. How will you refute the denial? Main reason OMU was established to serve only young people is due to their beliefs that rituals can only be performed on young individuals. However, I believe this is a guise to exploit young people more easily. I need actual evidence, lady. Your beliefs don't mean a whole lot. And I haven't seen P. Diddy or any baby oil involved in this case yet, so I'm not really not buying your argument here. Let's go ahead with the defendant next. See up here in the corner if he's got a criminal record. He does have a criminal record. He was found guilty of torture in the past. That is interesting. I believe this game is from 2023, so this was only a year ago. He spent 8 months and 22 days for torture. And he is a teacher also. It is alleged that instead of serving the intended purposes of contributing to the education of young people, the OMU civil society organization you established engaged in actions that disrupted public peace. What will you say? I deny all the allegations. My sole and greatest aim is to provide support to underprivileged young people, contributing to their education. I will say his criminal record makes it a little bit more concerning. I wish people support us instead of making such accusations. I wish people would support us instead of making such allegations. Do you have any secret organization within OMU? Oh, I'm sure he's going to admit to that. We do not have any activities or organizations other than those focused on education and development. A likely story. Furthermore, there is no need for us to conduct any activities in secrecy. On the contrary, we need to make ourselves known in order to reach young people. That is true. All right. Got a lot of witnesses here. Hopefully they have something to offer because we have nothing right now. We don't have a single piece of evidence really. Yeah, this just says that they were allowed to form. That doesn't do anything. What do you know about the true purpose of Brat Friend? Brat Friend's true purpose is to contribute to the education and development of young people. In this regard, he is a respectable individual. Okay, have you seen any evidence that Brat Friend conducts inhumane rituals as alleged? No, I have never observed any evidence that Brat Friend engages in such activities. Furthermore, I do not believe that any such evidence exists. Yeah, this case does seem like almost a waste of my time at this point. Do you have any observations regarding a secret structure within Brat Friend's organization? I have no observations or information regarding a secret structure within Brat Friend's organization. Yeah, so, thank you. You definitely supported his position. What do you know about Brat Friend's education programs? She's a student. I know that Brat Friend's education programs are aimed at enhancing the abilities of young people and contributing to their educational process. Alright, so that's a good thing. Have you observed any evidence that Brat Friend conducts inhumane rituals? Well, you're a student, so let's hear what you had to say. No, I have never observed any evidence or information that suggests Brat Friend engages in inhumane rituals. Have you noticed any secrecy or malicious intent in Brat Friend's activities? I have not observed any such thing. Everything was conducted in an open, transparent, and accountable manner. Well, this case really isn't hard so far. I mean, I'm hoping one of these witnesses makes it slightly harder because otherwise this is a very cut and dry case. Alright, psychologist. What do you know about the content of Brat Friend's education programs? I know that Brat Friend's education programs focus on the personal and academic development of young people. Okay. Have you seen any evidence or observed any inhumane rituals conducted by Brat Friend? No, I have never witnessed such a situation. Have you noticed any secrecy or hidden agendas in Brat Friend's civil society organization activities? No, Everything was as transparent as possible and focused on the education and development of young people. Can I have her arrested for wasting the court's time? Unemployed. Have you ever witnessed any inhumane rituals at Brad Friend's activities? Nope, even the unemployed person hasn't. No, I've never witnessed such a situation. What do you know about Brad Friend's programs for young people? I know that Brad Friend's education programs aim to enhance personal development, leadership skills, and vocational abilities of young people. This is a waste of my time. Have you noticed any secrecy or malicious intent in Brad Friend's activities? No, I do not believe that there was any such thing, and I have no observations to support such claims. I mean, I'm not blaming her, and it's one of those, I'm not even saying that the case is a bad case. I think it's good for the game to have it, because there are times where you have people like Sophia Nill who are going to waste a court's time because of their feelings over something really silly. Unless this witness has something entirely else to say, this is a really simple one for me to decide. Servant, Lucius Tremaine. Like housekeeper, or what do you mean by servant? Have you attended Brat Friend's education programs? Yes. I have attended his education programs. These programs offered content aimed at enhancing the leadership abilities of young people. All right. Have you seen any evidence or observed inhumane rituals conducted by Brat Friend? No. I have never observed such a situation, and there is no evidence to support it. Have you ever noticed any secrecy or malicious intent in Brat Friend's activities? No. All activities were solely focused on the education and development of young people. All right, well, as I said, I do wish that I could go ahead and arrest Sophia Nill for wasting the court's time. Guessing she's one of these probably overenthusiastic type of people that believe that they know things that the rest of us don't. Sure you want to proceed to decision-making screen? Yes. The case has significant impact on the public, so we should be very careful. He is innocent. I could have typed something there, but the fact of the matter is, yeah, there was no penalty for it because he was innocent. If I had typed something there, I would have put that there is no evidence to support the woman's claims. There was no witness that testified to it. There's no evidence of it. The only evidence provided was that he has started an organization, which is completely allowed. So yeah, that was an easy one. That's over with. Let's see what question we have here at the end. Supreme Court wants to increase disciplinary penalties. What are your thoughts on this? Alright, I'm perfectly fine with this. They want to increase the disciplinary penalties. I am perfectly fine with them increasing the disciplinary penalties because if you don't break the law, you don't have this issue. It's one of those, if you have agreed to live in a society, you need to adhere to their rules. If you don't agree with their rules, then you should leave that society. And I see this in a lot of different places. I used to think about moving to certain countries, and in the last few years, some of those countries have definitely changed rules to make it where I would not feel as comfortable living in those countries. So I don't go. I mean, I still might visit, but I'm not going to live there. And this is sort of the same thing. If you agree to live in that country, obey their rules. Pretty straightforward. In like the United States where I live, it's one of those things that if I don't like a law and such, then I need to work to get politicians in place that will put in laws that I do agree with. That's part of the whole voting process I sort of mentioned at the beginning of the episode, I think. That's about as political as I'm going to get on it, though. But yeah, I'm going to agree. Everyone should adhere. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and end this video there. We're going to only put out one case per week on this, as I said. It's just going to continue on until we get through all the different cases. But hopefully you are enjoying it. If you did, please go ahead and click that like button. If you've not already, please subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon, so that you're aware when I produce new videos in the future. Thank you, and I hope to see you back for more of You Are the Judge.